We're back here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Diallo gets the ball, heads left, heads to the right. He breaks a couple of tackles and he could go. He's to the 20, to the 10. Could go all the way for a Boonies Riverhawks touchdown.
Man, I'm hungry.
And what's this, folks? Change of events as Diallo's off the field. Looks like he's on Iowa Avenue in Muscatine. I think he said something about being hungry. He crosses the street. He jumps the curb. Oh, look no further. He's at Boonies on the Avenue. Let's head inside.
What's a pizza?
That is an MVP play, and you could be the MVP of your team at home by heading to Boonies on the Avenue in Muscatine. A family restaurant with over 27 big screen TVs, daily food and drink specials to cater the needs of any sports fan, from a rookie to a Hall of Famer. Looking for a night out or a place to watch the big game? Look no further than Boonies on the Avenue, located at 214 Iowa Avenue in Muscatine, or by phone at 563-263-0626. Boonies on the Avenue, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. The Riverhawks Media Network is looking forward to bringing you, the fans, nonstop football action here this 2021 season. But we are also excited to bring you a way to get involved in the action and support a great cause all season long. The Muscatine Riverhawks, in partnership with the Riverhawks Media Network, are proud to bring the season-long donations with our partners of the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. The Riverhawks have committed to donating as a team every time the defense gets a sack, turnover, touchdown, or safety. We are asking you, the fans, to get involved in this great organization that assists families with sick children stay close to each other and provide care and resources when they need it most. So while you support the team on the field, come support our team in donating to this great cause. More information can be provided across all of our social media platforms or by visiting gf.me/u/ZPNWMM. Thank you, the fans, for all the support you've given the Muscatine Riverhawks over the last 5 years.
If you're in the Davenport area, check out the Dam View. Welcome to your favorite dive bar tucked away downtown. They host a wide range of beers, many of which are local, as well as daily specials, good service, and a large patio. Contact them at 563-324-4434. Proud supporters of the Muscatine Riverhawks.
The following broadcast is a production of the Riverhawks Media Network and is property of the Muscatine Riverhawks. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of Muscatine Riverhawks football is strictly prohibited.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Riverhawks Weekly. Tyler Bean joining former Monmouth College wide receiver Jake Landry. Jake, happy Monday. Another week to talk some football, bud.
Yes, sir, and it's a victory Monday here on Riverhawks Media Network because that was a pretty big playoff win we got to witness yesterday.
Absolutely, and the first one in the history of the Riverhawks Media Network came out for the good guys. But let's start with the rundown, and let's just quickly recap yesterday's playoff matchups, starting with the number one overall seed Peoria Punishers all over the Quad City Nighthawks 76-7. The Midwest Hawks also beating the Burlington Express at home 67-20. The Savages of Central State beating the Mid-State Thunderbirds 55-19. And then, of course, the game that you watched yesterday, the Riverhawks all over the Effingham County Storm 71-12. All four seeds, all four top seeds move on in advance. Any comment regarding that?
No, the top four seeds definitely displayed yesterday why they are the top four seeds. And, I mean, is anybody really surprised by the outcome of a couple of these games? I mean, Central State putting a big whooping on the Thunderbirds there. But you know what? I mean, I kind of expected that as well. Peoria Punishers doing what they do, and then probably our opponent next week, Midwest Hawks, they definitely made a statement as well.
Yeah, I think really from my point of view, people know my standpoint on the league and who I think the best teams are. The top 4 teams move on and advance. You know, the Punishers, the Midwest Hawks, the Riverhawks, and the Savages are clearly the top 4 teams. It's those 4 teams, and then it's everybody else, which leads us into the updated playoff picture. And no surprise, 1 faces 4, 2 faces 3. Both games in Peoria on Sunday, slated for a 2:00 kickoff. The Punishers taking on the Savages, and then us traveling to Peoria to take on the Midwest Hawks. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I agree, and like I said, this is exactly what we were expecting all season, especially after the bye week when Newsom came back. This is what we've been slated to see since about week 4, week 5, whenever the bye week was. This is what we've been waiting to see for a long time, and now it's really going to come down to who is the better playoff team. And it's a good thing that this Riverhawks team has been rolling the last few weeks.
Well, and another thing to note, you talk about the top 4 seeds, all of which had a home playoff game. I really think that it matters to note that the Riverhawks did have to really earn their home playoff game. Winning 5 straight after the 1-2 start. Could we have said at this point maybe it's a different story if the Riverhawks fall there in Decatur to the Central State Savages, which was a hard-fought game up until the end? I really think it does matter that we go back and we look at from the time that they were 1-2, and maybe we would have talked about this yesterday in the pregame show. They had to scratch and claw their way to that 5-game win streak and really get a home playoff game and earn it. And then obviously Effingham County didn't travel very well yesterday. They brought, I think, a total of 15 guys, something along those lines. And then the rain yesterday coming in, and then a 3:00 kickoff. So you have low numbers, a delayed kickoff, and then it was just really hot and muggy the rest of the way. I think all those things played into the Riverhawks' hands, having good depth yesterday. And like you said, I mean, it's not a surprise that we've got all 4 teams here moving on. But we're going to have a really good semifinal weekend on Sunday with both games being in Peoria. I know a lot of people outside of these 4 teams are going to travel to both sites. We should have good crowds. And then, of course, hey, if you're not, in the Peoria area on Sunday, obviously we'll have our game on the Riverhawks Media Network for you to watch. I would imagine good numbers there as well. Another thing that I wanted to harp on also outside of this being a very big playoff game, not a whole lot of injuries in terms of yesterday. Some bumps and bruises. Coach Eric Johnson has told us that Emmanuel Hamilton will be back next week when, we'll obviously preview the game against the Midwest Hawks. He was dealing with some hamstring issues, but should be back for next week. And also let me say this, the Riverhawks lost to the Midwest Hawks earlier this year in a game where they were pretty much in control for a majority of that game, and then losing to the Peoria Punishers. How great would it be for this Riverhawks team to avenge not only this loss, but if they get to the championship game and Peoria wins, then you could avenge both losses en route to a championship.
Well, 1 week at a time, that's what you got to look at, especially with these 2 opponents. You're not looking at who you're playing in the championship game, because to get to that game, you got to win this game. If you don't win this game, you go home. So basically right now is what you got to think is this is a completely different Riverhawks team. There was no Tyler Newsom. That offense was didn't quite have their identity yet. And I think now it's just a more complete team overall, and everybody in the league can attest to that. Everybody on this team is saying the same thing, is this is a different team than week 2, and they had them on the ropes on week 2, and they just couldn't finish. And it's going to come down this week is this new team that's been rolling 6 straight wins now, I believe?
Yes.
6 straight wins, and is this team going to make it 7? That's the only thing. It's just another business trip. Yeah, it's the semifinals, but that's how you got to treat it. It's just a business trip.
100%. And the other thing that I want to touch on from yesterday, the defense. What was it? 9 total takeaways, right?
Yep,
Is that right?
I believe 9 total takeaways is correct.
Eric's nodding his head, and of course, all those takeaways are sponsored by the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. So that should be a very sizable donation from the Riverhawks to that organization, and we're happy to make that check out to them and donate some more money. But I think the bigger thing here to note for the defensive side of the ball is that they're still providing points. And I think that that's going to be critical when we preview the game against the Midwest Hawks. They're going to have to find ways to take the ball away. I imagine that it's going to be a very close game, a very contested game, and just the importance, I think we would have said yesterday on the pregame show that the defense had to show a spark yesterday and provide some relief to the offense, because we did see offensively also at the same time, Jake, not necessarily on the same page early, although later on they did click.
Well, I'll tell you what, that entire team came out flat yesterday, and it was nothing to them. Obviously, the scoreboard may say otherwise, but final score 71-12. At the beginning of the game, you couldn't tell that. I mean, yeah, there was some rain delay, starting an hour late. It was pretty humid. It was pretty hot out there, but I'll tell you what, if you come out flat like that against the Midwest Hawks, it's a different story, because there's a chance that you could really let that game get out of hand. Luckily for us, I say come out flat. Special teams didn't come out flat.
No.
Opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Nick Smith, our damn viewing player of the game. Mm-hmm. That was great, but otherwise, offense and defense both came out a little slow. Defense gave up a score early. Offense was getting stopped early, but eventually everybody settled in. Now, next week is the big thing is going to be you got to come out strong on all three parts of the game, special teams, offense, and defense. There's no time to waste there. You put it on them hard. You don't give them a chance to breathe.
Well, and partner, I think the big thing for this Riverhawks team is to go back and watch that game against the Midwest Hawks and realize that they had a very fast start. They had a very good half of play, and then the third and fourth quarter came and they let their foot off the gas. I think if they keep that same mentality, they realize matchup-wise, they match up well. There are definitely things that they can exploit in that Midwest Hawks, both offensively and defensively. I think it's just a matter of bringing it together and realizing you're one game away from a championship. I mean, it's right there in front of you for the taking. I don't think travel's going to be a problem. And again, I think they match up fairly well. So it's just about what can we do in the third and fourth quarter. It's going to go back to those workouts that you had earlier in the year, maybe later last year, when you're grinding it out in the weight room and conditioning, and this is what you're playing for. You're playing for a chance to go to a championship game and to prove to everybody in the league that this team can avenge this loss and get there. It should be very exciting. Another thing that I want to note, because obviously Jake and Troy yesterday closed the broadcast out, I was not 100% returning from vacation. I think the sun got the best of me yesterday, and so Jake and Troy helped me down to the tent, and I pretty much handled the scoreboard from there on out, and Troy came up. It was great. Everything sounded good, and you guys did a fantastic job with that. So I just wanted to give you guys accolades for the hard work you guys did yesterday closing the game out, and then you presenting the damn viewing player of the game to Nick Smith yesterday. Other than that, I think we take a quick break. Round one's over. We'll move on to, Chalk Talk, right? Gonna see you break down some plays and show how the Riverhawks won yesterday against the Effingham County Storm in big fashion, 71-12. And, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the Riverhawks Media Network.
Have some critters bugging you and your home team or business? Call The Bugman, the top quality pest control service in Muscatine. Services include tackling ants, bedbugs, bees, cockroaches, fleas or mites, hornets, wasps, home inspections, and so much more. Give them a call at 563-554-2847. The Bugman, proud sponsor of the Muscatine Riverhawks. This is the portion of our broadcast where you can see your ad in our next upcoming podcast or live stream game. The Muscatine Riverhawks provide a wide variety of sponsorship packages to cater the needs of your business. More information on these packages can be provided to you from Kyle Bass or Eric Johnson, and their contact information is 563-299-8334 or 309-721-5560. We look forward to your support this season, and as always, go Riverhawks. If you are looking for a place for fellowship and worship with great people, look no further than River City Church, welcoming those small walks of life and faith with 2 Sunday services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. in Moline and 10 a.m. in Milan. More information can be provided by calling 309-764-5685 or 309-558-0065. River City Church, proud sponsors of the Muscatine Riverhawks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chalk Talk, brought to you by All American Diner. We had a fantastic game yesterday, 71-12 rout from playoffs round one. Outstanding performance by the defense. A little slow start by both sides of the ball. However, they were able to come out with the win. Hopefully, we see a faster paced start next week for playoff semifinals. But that's a key to the game that we'll get into more later on in the podcast. So first, I've got this defensive play right here, right on the edge. Dalton McCarty on the edge, coming very fast, shot like a cannon, with a hard blitz on the edge, right there for the easy sack. I'll give credit to this quarterback. They were able to maintain pretty good protection for the quarterback all day, but he was able to get to the quarterback on this one. Huge game for McCarty. Also a huge game, huge season for him so far. And I totally expect him to continue this level of play going into the playoffs later on. Let's continue on to the next play right here. Special teams. Sorry about the overlay right there, but we did not have another angle of this. But the very first play from kickoff, right here, Nick Smith, our player of the game, finds an open hole, good protection from the receiving team to get some good blocks. He finds the gap, and he takes it all the way to the end zone for the easy touchdown to get this game rolling. Once again, that is the second time this season Nick Smith is our Danview Inn player of the game. Great protection by that special teams, that kickoff return team, giving him the open gap for the easy touchdown. Moving on right here, I got some more defense for you. 9 turnovers on the day for the defense. Outstanding performance there. Right here, interesting call. I think they shouldn't have blown this one dead, but Dalton McCarty once again getting to the quarterback first for the strip sack. And then recovered here by Devin Davis, who should have been able to get up and score a touchdown here. But interesting call by the refs to blow it dead right here. It's an obvious fumble because, look, his knee isn't down. The ball pops out. Perfect strip sack. Devin Davis could have picked it up and crawled into the end zone if he wanted to. But that's not the way it played out. The refs called it dead. But anyway, it's set up for a good field position for the offense. Now let's get into some offense. Simple breakdown here. I like the route combination. You get every single receiver going to the right except for Zach Minch in the slot. Zach Minch breaks down, breaks to the outside, wide open, walks into the end zone. Easy touchdown right there. Minch with a fantastic game as well yesterday. I expect these receivers to be a shining light in the semifinal game. And that's all I have for you here today on Chalk Talk. Can't wait to bring you the semifinal edition of Chalk Talk next week. As always, I'm your color commentator, Jake Landry, and we'll be right back.
The Quad City Insulators. With over a decade in home comfort, the Quad City Insulators exist to serve the needs of their homeowners, architects, farmers, and business owners. The amount of money that is wasted due to heating and cooling loss has created a strong demand for not only their superior products, but superior workmanship. They can be contacted at 309-373-0505 and are proud sponsors of the Muscatine Riverhawks. If you're in the mood for some new ink, look no further than Pearl City Tattoo. Bill Kaufman opened Pearl City Tattoo in 2005 and has grown to be the most recommended tattoo shop in Muscatine, believing that every customer deserves the best experience possible, and they set the standard for communication, prompt scheduling, and transparent pricing. You have questions, you can reach out to Bill on Facebook and Instagram or contact them at 563-263-7001, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. From maintaining that perfect smile to the most complex dental needs, Parkway View Family Dentistry is committed to providing you and your team with safe, gentle, and high-quality dental care. Sensitive to your needs, it is their goal to make you feel comfortable visiting their practice while providing the best possible care. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information can be provided or schedule an appointment by calling 309-792-0513. Parkway View Family Dentistry, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Riverhawks Weekly here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Tyler Bean, joined by Jake Landry, and our two guests for the week, defensive player Danny Walters and offensive lineman Ken Fouse. Guys, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having us.
No problem.
Absolutely. Danny, my first question's for you. Talking to Coach Eric Johnson earlier on in the show, off the air, of course, about you as a player. You played primarily inside linebacker yesterday in the big win against the Effingham County Storm, but Eric Johnson says you do a little bit of everything. You play inside linebacker, you're a defensive back, you play corner and safety. So what is it like game planning, not really necessarily knowing what position you're going to play that given day? What's the process on that?
Well, I just got to keep my body healthy, which has been a big problem for me lately. I've had a lot of back problems, but fortunately all that's done with and I'm getting better now. So really just keep my body healthy, stretching all the time, drinking a lot of water, trying to keep juice in me, anything to stay hydrated. Really, yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to play most weeks. So I just show up ready to play. Basically, that's it.
Well, hey, you showed up in a big way for the Riverhawks defense, 9 total takeaways yesterday. And then overall, you guys have done a fantastic job this year, keeping points off the board, giving your offense great field position, which certainly matters, and it will matter now coming this weekend, taking on the Midwest Hawks. So very, very important.
Yeah, especially being such a short field. Like I'm used to 11-man football, so having a short field like this, field position is very important. I've found out. So
100%.
Most definitely.
Facets, for sure.
All right, Kenneth, this one goes out to you, man. So you're easily the most fired up guy on that field, and I love it. I'm always commenting on it. So how do you stay fired up like that week in and week out?
Man, honestly, man, it just comes with the passion for the sport for me. I'm a big guy, of course. So with a big guy comes a big voice. More or less, I get fired up like off of the energy from the rest of my brothers that are on the sidelines. Whether it's them tuned into their iPads or, their Apple EarPods just jamming, or whether, we're barking, doing our, slaps and high fives on the side, whatever it may be, it just adds fuel to my fire and it gets me going. And a lot, sometimes, they say, Fouse, you need to put a cork in it. And it's true. But nonetheless, man, it just comes with the passion for the sport.
So I love that energy. Every time on that sideline, we hear, Fouse bringing the energy.
Yeah, I tell you, Ken's the type of guy, and if folks on our media network that watch this game in and game out, if you've never been to a Riverhawks game with Ken Fouse in attendance, that man will give you a bear hug and a high five before the kickoff. The second that whistle blows, it's like a light switch goes off, and he is the most dangerous man on the football field. So that's a good segue into my question for you, Ken. Listen, you're a D lineman by trade. That's kind of your bread and butter. But lately,
yes, sir,
Kyle Bass has brought you over to the offensive line, has asked you to do something that maybe a little outside your comfort zone, playing on the offensive side of the ball, but you've had a very good impact on the run and pass game for the offense. So what's that been like? What's that transition been like? Have you had any previous experience playing offensive line? And how do you prepare for those games differently than if you were playing D-line?
Okay, so yeah, my younger days coming into football, I started off as an offensive lineman, so it's just it's kind of in the package. When you talk about the big Fouse house, offense, defense. Like I told Coach, when they let me on board, whatever it may be, special teams, offense, defense, wherever I can be of an asset, best to best help my team move forward week in and week out. I was willing to get it in, willing to fill that role. But the transition, I mean, it's more or less learning to be more hands-on when transitioning from that defense to the offense, because as an offensive lineman, you're waiting on that pressure from that defensive guy, that defensive end, that heavy package that's coming, as opposed to defense. You're the one that's bringing that pressure. You're the one that's applying that pressure, that rush, so it's just it's kind of easy. Like I said, it just goes hand in hand with being a lineman, being a hog, so either way.
Well, hey, keep bringing that energy, because we're going to need it this weekend, taking on a
Yes, sir.
formidable opponent there in the Midwest Hawks. And, the other thing I wanted to mention while we're on the broadcast here, I told you earlier this year, maybe it was Raekwon or both of you, I was going to bring a bottle of syrup for you guys to share with the rest of the Hogs every time you get a pancake. I'll have the guys remind me this weekend I'm bringing a nice bottle of syrup, and I want it to be empty by the time the game's over. You think you can do that for me?
Nice, no doubt. Yes, I'll bring a straw so that we get to the bottom quicker.
There we go. Excellent. I like that. Don't you, partner?
I do. I'm a big fan. They used to call our offensive line in Monmouth the pancake platoon.
Yep.
So let's bring out the pancake platoon. So
100%.
All right, Danny, this next one goes out to you. Obviously, big game, semifinal game. So what do y'all have to do? Coach, definitely a solid athlete, solid quarterback. What does this defense need to do to keep him in check and just, keep the dominance going that y'all have had over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep doing, like you said, same things we've been doing, keeping quarterbacks inside the pocket, not letting them scramble. We just got to come with a good game plan. Offense got to click too. Defense, has been doing a lot of work. You've seen it the last few weeks. We had 9 turnovers, like you were saying. Should have been 10. Had 1 dropped, and actually led to a touchdown, which is crazy. But, like I said, just keep doing what we've been doing. Come with a game plan and just be ready to play, Just keep playing how we've been playing. Like 3 weeks ago, we really came together as a team, and we've been riding that ever since, like picking each other up everywhere we can, always keeping each other up, never any negative comments anymore. It's awesome. It's a whole different experience in the first beginning of the season. So I'm ready for this game. Like I said, my body's good now. I'm ready to go.
I completely agree. This defense has been outstanding, and that Central State win was such a turning point for this team. It was super awesome. So I'm super excited to see how this defense performs now that you're getting help from the offense as well. I think this will be a completely different game.
Oh, yeah. Tyler's getting in his groove. Like, he's not scared to throw to anybody. I came in for literally 2 or 3 plays, and he threw at me twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not scared to throw to anybody. So, I love that about him.
I completely agree. Newsom definitely brings a different aspect to the game that I don't think Midwest Hawks are quite ready for come Sunday.
No, they haven't seen that yet. They haven't seen it at all. So,
I agree.
Let's go.
No doubt, guys. And here's the deal. I'm going to get on a little bit of a soapbox. This team was 1-2 heading into back-to-back bye weeks. And the team did some soul searching, had some personnel come back. And you've wrote a 6-game win streak now that's got you to the semifinals of the MAAFL playoffs, obviously, this weekend, 2 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Guys, the Midwest Hawks took us down earlier this year. You have a chance not only to go to their place and win, but a chance to go to the championship game. What does that mean to you guys? And you guys can go one at a time. And what's it really going to take for this team to go into an all-out war and come out victorious?
Kenneth, I'll let you go first, man.
For sure. I mean, it's just gonna take that same energy that we've had these last couple of weeks. Like, my man Danny was saying, we got to keep that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that stronghold together, and just go into this game with that energy, knowing that we want that W, even more than we wanted it the first time when we came up short. But we're definitely gonna capitalize this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Without a doubt.
Going back to what you were saying though, Ken, about players like being energetic, you and Wes, man, you guys literally keep us going. So don't ever stop doing that shit. Love it.
No doubt.
But like going on what you were saying, we just got to keep clicking as a team. Really, I mean, just keep riding that high that we're on, and we're gonna do it. I got no doubt right now. Like, we're winning games by a lot. They shouldn't have even scored on us last week or yesterday, whatever. I'm not even worried about it, but we should have another goose egg coming up here real soon.
Oh yeah. Running backs all fired up in the back. We got Laji, you got AG back there, you got Kev,
Zach Minch showing out.
Trey Minch, everybody gonna be ready to fire on all cylinders. I know that for sure. Without a doubt. So I mean, we're ready. We're ready.
That's what it comes down to.
That's all I can say.
These two coming into this interview leading the hype train, and man, we are so excited to call this game. Hopefully, calling a Riverhawks winner, guys. Thank you so much for being on the show, but at the same time, thank you for your commitment to this organization. I know Eric has nothing but high praises for you and the rest of the guys. Bring that energy Sunday. Play together, win together, and let's go dance into the championship game. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Hey, sounds great. Sounds great. Hey, big
Thank
shout
you.
out to the media team. Big shout out to the media team
Yes.
because you guys come through every week, week after week, and you guys do one heck of a job, man. So salute to you guys as well. Thank you.
You guys are literally first ones there and last ones to leave. So we really do appreciate it.
Trying to bring the good
Without a doubt. We truly appreciate you guys. Thanks.
That's defensive player Danny Walters and big offensive and defensive lineman Ken Fouse joining us to talk about the big pivotal MAFL semifinal game this weekend in Peoria. I say we take a break, wrap things up, and we'll be right back to break it down right here on the Riverhawks Media Network.
Nutrition Outlet. If you're looking to maintain your health or get back in shape, Nutrition Outlet provides a wide variety of products and services, including biometric scanning, organic salon, detox sessions, emotional balancing, and natural health assessments. Contact them at 563-264-8124. Nutrition Outlet, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football.
Holler's Bar and Grill. Food to drool over and entertainment to make you dance. This is what you would imagine in a Quad Cities bar, and Holler's Bar and Grill is just the place to have it. Serving happy hour every day from 3 to 5 p.m. with daily drink and food specials. They also deliver. Contact them at 309-277-9028. Holler's Bar and Grill, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football.
Travel accommodations for the Muscatine Riverhawks and the Riverhawks Media Network are provided by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, located at 3220 East 53rd Street, Suite A in Davenport. More information can be provided by calling 563-209-9631. Enterprise Rent-A-Car, proud sponsors of Riverhawks football.
And welcome back here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Tyler being joined by Jake Landry. Jake, what a great interview that was with Big Ken Fouse and Danny Walters, two of the cornerstones of this Riverhawks team that has plenty of them.
I agree. I love seeing Kenneth Fouse on that sideline always. Definitely the most vocal, and Walters is a force to be reckoned with on that defense, so it's always good to talk to them.
Well, you know, and the thing I was actually talking to one of the Riverhawks staff about yesterday is the fact that, you know, even if the team is down, you know, the sideline gets quiet, Ken Fouse is still that voice that still lights a spark in his team. And even going back to the Central State Savages game where things weren't necessarily going the Riverhawks' way all the time, you could rely on a guy like Ken Fouse to pump his team up and go, hey, listen, we're still in this. We got to get things going. I think that that's a very intangible asset that this Riverhawks team has, is a guy like Ken Fouse that has really stepped into that role. And just the fact that he's a D lineman by trade but has bumped over to the offensive line has made a big impact.
Yeah, he's a true team player, and definitely somebody that everybody respects on this team, and I definitely respect on this team. Same thing goes for Walters. That man plays week in, week out, had a monster game against the Mid-State Thunderbirds, had a monster game yesterday, and you know what? He's just a key part of that defense.
And even the opposite, I think Danny's the type of guy that's maybe a little more quiet, kind of stays inside of himself and plays the game his way. And again, still a very intangible asset because even in the darkest times, you can rely on guys like Ken and Danny to step up when needed. And we fully expect that this weekend. And so maybe that's a good segue into the preview for this weekend. Big weekend matchup in the Final Four of the MAAFL. The Riverhawks traveling to Peoria to take on the 2-seed overall, the Midwest Hawks. They lost earlier this year in a home game that the Riverhawks were up at halftime and kind of let that game slip away. So I guess this is a good time, partner. What are your keys to a Riverhawks victory?
Well, it's definitely going to rely on a lot what happened last time they played. So my first key to the victory is play 4 quarters. We've seen what happens when this team plays 4 quarters, and we saw what happened week 2 when they don't play 4 quarters. That first half was about as perfect as it could be. That second half was about as big a nightmare as it could be. So play 4 quarters, you're going to win this football game. Second is contain coach. That quarterback is probably single-handedly one of the reasons why the Hawks were able to come back and win that game. He's a stud player, and we give him all the respect as an athlete, but this defense needs to contain him. Don't let him get out of the pocket, and the secondary just needs to stay and cover their receivers in their spots. And my third key to the game, open up the passing game. Paris Taylor, Lorenzo Sims, and Zach Minch have just been outstanding the last few weeks, and they might as well just keep that going. So the run game had more of a key part to that game in week 2, so now it's time we let her rip with Tyler Newsome under center, and just that passing game is going to be such a key part to that victory come Sunday.
Yeah,
100%. I agree with you fully, and I know that it's going to be an electric atmosphere in Peoria come Sunday. There won't be only one game. There will be 2 games in the city being played for a right to go to the championship game. It's what every team circles when they get together for organized team activities and training camp. How do we get to this point? And the Riverhawks are there. They're on a 6-game win streak, and everything is right there for the taking. And so if they come out and do the things that you said and listen to the coaching staff, make the adjustments they need, it's going to be a full-out war, but I think the Riverhawks have more than enough talent and more than enough more than enough, what's the word I'm looking for, camaraderie and team leadership to come out and bring a victory. So it should be a good one. Obviously, we'll be here on the Riverhawks Media Network kickoff at 2 o'clock. Yours truly, along with Jake Landry on the call. Hopefully for all 4 quarters. I'm fully expecting to be there. And it should be a good one. So if you're making the trip, safe travels. We look forward to seeing you there. Wear your black and gold and come out and support this team for a right to go to the championship. For my partner Jake Landry, I'm Tyler Bean signing off. We'll see you this Sunday. Riverhawks and Midwest Hawks for a right to go to the MA8FL Championship, and it's all right here on the Riverhawks Media Network. This Sunday, your Riverhawks are on the road in Peoria with an MA8FL Championship berth on the line. 2 p.m. kickoff, Traywin Middle School, 1419 South Folkers Avenue in Peoria. We have football, ladies and gentlemen, and it should be a good one. Riverhawks, Midwest Hawks, right here on the Riverhawks Media Network. If you are looking for signs for your team or business, look no further than High Tech Signs and Apparel, a state-of-the-art, full-service sign shop. And from the clean and modern off-light shop to the latest technology in designing and producing signs, High Tech Signs has a sales staff of over 25 years' experience to cater your every need. Services include large format digital printing, interior signage, exterior signage, vehicle solutions, and apparel. When it comes to solving the sign problems, the solution is High Tech Signs and Apparel. Located at 3359 Middle Road, Suite 2 in Bettendorf, you can call them with any of your questions at 563-449-9400. High Tech Signs and Apparel, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. Looking to level up your game this offseason or take care of your body midseason for that late season playoff push? Then Badlands Fitness is the place for you. Badlands Fitness is the Quad Cities' choice for elite athletic training for athletes of all ages, all sports, and levels. Contact them at 309-617-6416. Badlands Fitness, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. All-American Diner, the leading restaurant serving Muscatine County and surrounding areas since 2020, serving breakfast all day as well as lunch and dinner. They offer a fish fry every Friday and a buffet on the weekends. For your next meal, visit All-American Diner in Muscatine or call for more information at 563-263-2224. All-American Diner, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football.
To keep up with everything Muscatine Riverhawks, follow us on all social media platforms to see everything behind the scenes, weekly podcasts, and of course, our live streams of games every Sunday. You can follow us on Facebook at Muscatine Riverhawks Media Network, on Instagram at Muscatine Riverhawks, Twitter at Riverhawks_MN. You can follow us on YouTube at Muscatine Riverhawks Media Network, and then you can follow us on Snapchat at Riverhawks 2017.